Today's topic is raising teenagers, seeing the who, not only the what. Question. I'm a mother of seven, and my oldest child is 15 years old. As he moves deeper into his teenage years, I feel a growing distance between us. I'm unsure whether I should tell him what he should do or simply let him do what he wants. I also struggle with how to respond when he acts in ways I don't agree with. So it's a very good question. Almost every parent experiences this struggle with their teenage children, and it's very common to feel unsure about the correct response. But as a helpful first step, you might consider reframing the choices that you're considering. And that you describe two options. One, telling him what to do, or two, letting him do what he wants. Now, as parents of teenagers, the most important principle is to nurture the relationship with one's child, focusing on the who of our child and not only the what. So what does that mean? When we see our teenagers as a what they're wearing, how their hair looks, their actions, their choices, we're no longer relating to the person inside, to the who. Our teenagers are growing, they're exploring, they're learning about a vast, exciting, intimidating, and sometimes even scary world. They have feelings, opinions, desires, dreams, and they deeply want to be accepted, acknowledged, and understood. From a parent's perspective, this means learning to truly listen to our children and giving them the space to express their feelings and thoughts without immediately correcting and judging what they say. Now, showing interest in what's important to our children helps them to feel seen and respected. Thus, the question is not only whether to allow your child to do what he wants or how to react, but how to strengthen your relationship with your child, with the who, the inner person that you're privileged to raise. Now, Rab Chaim Shalom Deitch, who was a rabbi in Mashpia in Yerushalayim, he shared the following story that took place in Israel in the 1940s. A teenage girl from a religious home, she began spending time with friends that weren't so interested in Torah mitzvahs. Now, although this was very painful for her parents, every night, no matter how late she came home, her father would be waiting for her. He wasn't waiting to reprimand her, to judge her, but to offer her a warm, home-cooked meal. He didn't agree with her choices, yet he consistently showed that she was valued and loved as his daughter, as a who and not as a what. Now, one day her friends decided they were really going to show their parents that they were through with the Torah way of life, and they planned to drive through the streets of Tiberias on Shabbos. But the daughter, she chose not to participate. She said she couldn't do that to her father. And in time, she returned to Torah and mitzvahs. Now, this doesn't mean that parents should never speak to their teenagers about behavior or values. Parents can, and in fact, they should, but how they do it makes all the difference. When parents become demanding or controlling, not only does the relationship suffer, but the guidance they're trying to give over is far less likely to be received. A positive, respectful, and caring relationship creates an environment in which a teenager can remain open to receive the knowledge, the guidance, and the education that the parent wants to share. Therefore, as an example, instead of saying you should do this, you must do this, a more effective approach might be to say, my suggestion would be, or in my experience, you might want to consider this choice. Being consistent while at the same time expressing warmth helps teenagers to feel both guided and emotionally secure. And that emotional security is very important. Now, when we truly value who our child is, it's very likely that our child will respond in kind. As it says in Mishlei, as water mirrors the face to the face, so does the heart of man to man. A strong, loving, and respectful relationship creates a bond that encourages our children to internalize our guidance and over time, hopefully, to choose to walk in the ways that we teach.